What is it? Where did it come from? How big is it? Is it edible? Scientists like you and I have been pondering these questions for many eons. While no one knows for sure where the moon came from, research has shown that the moon was most likely constructed by the Egyptians sometime between 20,000 BC and today. To honor their pharaoh Steve, the Egyptians constructed a giant sphere from sands, rocks, and papyrus mache. The moon was then covered in milk to give it its white surface and launched into space using the pyramids. Because the surface of the moon is made entirely of dairy, it has turned into a variety of cheeses. 50% cheddar, 25% Gouda, 10% blue cheese, 20% other. Since this discovery, America's top scientists have been working on a mission to the moon in order to collect this bounty of cheese and end world hunger. While our mission may be noble and pure, a constant menace lies in our shadows and threatens to foil our every move. This menace is communism. Our military experts have documents to prove that the Soviets plan to go to the moon as well. But instead of harvesting cheese, these commies plan to befriend the moon people, build a super weapon, and blow up the Earth. Our mission is to beat them to the moon before they can begin construction of this mega weapon in order to preserve life, liberty, and freedom itself. But before you go to the moon, you must know something about its climate. Our research has shown that its atmosphere is similar to ours, yet everything is 1/6 the size as found on Earth. On Earth, this tube of toothpaste would provide one with approximately 2 weeks of cavity-fighting ability, reducing breath odor and fighting gingivitis. However, on the moon, the same tube of toothpaste would barely provide 1 day of adequate dental health care.
You know, Joe, there's one thing in this groovy mystery that doesn't add up. It's where did you get that popcorn?
Now that you know about the moon and our reasons for going, you'll need to start packing. Here's what you'll need. You will need a duffel bag, a hat for the cold climate, compass, a sweatshirt for cold nights, a tennis racket, some reading material, your toothpaste and brush, a firearm, a lighter, one stuffed animal, and the most essential part of the mission, an American flag. Now that we are packed, we can begin planning our journey to the moon. This is how we're going to get there.
Oh! No! Maybe I can rewire it. My fingers won't reach.
Wake up, Joe, wake up.
You? What are you doing here? Want to get me into more trouble?
Joe, listen to me. Last time, I didn't have enough time to tell you this, but there is a logical solution to your problem.
Yeah, get 2 plane tickets out of here and become fishermen in Cambodia.
No, Joe, listen. If you want to beat DAA to the moon...
Why does everyone around me die? Oh God, I think he stopped breathing. His wallet must be exerting too much pressure on his lungs. It's the only way, Joe. It's the only way.
And that's how you beat DAA to the moon.
It all seems so easy.
That's because it is easy, Joe.
Wow, Mellon Fillmore, you're so smart.
Of course I am. I discovered electricity. Well, I gotta go.
Will I ever see you again?
Probably not.
US to the moon, I'm going to Cambodia.
No, listen. You remember when they first went to the moon back in 1969?
No.
Well, do you know how they did it?
Built a rocket and went to the moon?
Wrong! They faked it. What? NASA couldn't beat the Russians to the moon. So what they did was filmed it all on a secret movie set. And they made it look like the astronauts got out and landed on the moon.
What about all the other moon landings?
Those were all fake too. NASA's just one big money laundering scheme by the government so that they can spend billions of dollars oppressing the black man.
That makes perfect sense! How'd you figure it all out?
Millard Fillmore told me.
Millard Fillmore? The Millard Fillmore? 13th President of the United States? Last of the Whigs? Most famous person ever named Millard?
Yes, he did. He also told me how to beat DA to the moon. So how about it, Brian? You win?
Oh,
The day has finally arrived. In a few short hours, DAA will be launching their rocket to the moon. We have with us, via satellite, the lead astronaut of DAA's team, Alvin Smith. Alvin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Harold.
Now, Alvin, what time do you expect to be launching for the moon, and what time do you expect to arrive there?
Well, we're launching at noon and expect to arrive on the surface at 4 p.m. out time.
Joe, how are we gonna do this? I don't know how to fake a moon landing.
Come on, Brian, you're tech savvy, what with your glasses and all.
Have you told Alvin that we haven't had time to check the propanol levels?
I told him.
And?
He doesn't care. Alvin's going to the moon, even if it kills him.
You pass me the tape.
There you go.
It's tricky. They're not compatible, so you gotta use tape.
Sounds about right.
Hold on. I've just gotten word that ASD has just announced that they will be launching their rocket shortly. We now go live via satellite to the home of Joseph Fleetham. Joe, is it true that ASD will be launching their rocket shortly?
That's right, Gerald. About to get in my rocket and blast off into space. Unlike my opponent, it'll only take me a minute to get to the moon.
Wait, a minute? That's impossible!
Says you.
Even comprehending a spaceship traveling that fast is preposterous.
Your face is preposterous.
What?
You heard me. Excuse me, gentlemen. I have a rocket to catch.
And what do you have to say about that, Alvin?
Whatever, I'll see you when I get back.
And they're off. Both DAA and ASD will launch their rockets shortly in a race to reach the moon. So stay tuned for a historic moment you won't want to miss.
Where's my spacesuit? Where's my spacesuit? I need my spacesuit. We're launching the rocket now.
What?
That's right, if we don't launch now, ASD will win. They have some kind of super rocket that can fly to the moon in a minute.
Alvin, if you get on that rocket now, you're going to die.
I don't care. If we don't go now, 9 years of hard work will be spent for nothing.
We haven't yet tested the hull.
I don't care.
It's not worth it.
Alvin, are you sure of this?
I've never been so sure of anything in my life.
He's gone. We can't bring him back now.